here's the list of books I wanted to read in February that I didn't get to. Most of these books, like I said, are going to be moved to the month of April. Just a catch-up month. I think that's smart. I don't know why I don't see anybody else doing this, but doing like a month of just catching up on the books that you've wanted to read this year and haven't gotten to. So there you go. That's what I'm doing. I'm very excited about this. The only thing I know off the top of my head that is going to be supposed to be read in April is the last Tommy and Tuppence book, which is Postern of Fate, I believe. So, yes, that's what it is. So I think April for me is really wide open at this point, but we're not near there yet. We still have to go through March. So this month I'm doing middle grade March. Some people do mystery March. I, on the other hand, am doing the middle grade March because I have some books that have been on my shelves for the past year or so, and I've been wanting to read them, so perfect opportunity to do it. It's the third day of the month when I'm filming this, and I've already read one of the books, and that is The Vanderbeekers on 141st Street, which is the Bronx or Harlem. It's this one. I don't know like stuff in New York very well. And this is about the Vanderbeekers. They live in a brownstone with the landlord living on the top floor, and then this sweet couple on the floor underneath that, and then they have like the basement and the next two levels of the brownstone, and there's 5 kids and a dog and a bunny and a cat and another cat in the backyard with kittens. And it's the kind of house I want. I want a house full of kids with noise and different personalities and stuff happening, and it was a lot of fun to read. Of course, you could kind of see some of the stuff that was coming because it's middle grade, but I think for any middle grade reader, they would love this book. I've only heard really high praise for the Vanderbeeker series, and I can totally understand why. And before I continue, let me look at the name of the author because she's amazing. It is Karina Jan Glaser. I hope I'm saying that right. She's done 7 books, and I think there's one more coming out. If not, 7 is the end of the series. I have books 2 and 3 behind me, and those are going to be read this month. It's The Vanderbeekers to the Rescue and The Vanderbeekers and the Secret Garden, I believe. And my library has all of them, so when I finish the books 2 and 3, I can go and pick up 4 through 7. And I'm very excited about it. I don't know if I'll get all of them within the month of March, but I read the first one in 3.5 hours, so there's hope that I could maybe do all 7 if I just really concentrate on doing it. So at least the first 3 Vanderbeeker books are on my list. The next one is Sauerkraut. I've mentioned this one before back in October of last year because there's a boy who wants to build his own computer for a contest, but he needs to get extra money. So he helps, I think it's his uncle, clean out the basement. And down there's an old pot, and he starts hearing somebody say sauerkraut. And it ends up being like his great-grandmother or his great-great-grandmother, and she like teaches him how to make this sauerkraut recipe. And it just sounded like a really cute book. Plus, I totally bought, I admitted it then, I admit it now, it was a total title buy. You know, a lot of people do the book cover buy. Mine was a title buy. Like, who names a book Sauerkraut? It just really caught my attention. So I'm excited about reading Sauerkraut. The other book I also wanted to read in October but didn't get to was Stonebird, and it's about a boy who, now I have to go read so I can tell you what it really is. It's about a little boy named Liam, and they did move because the grandmother is suffering with dementia, and as he's walking his dog, he comes across a stone gargoyle, and he knows that his life is changing because of this gargoyle. And the gargoyle can come to life, and he discovers the power of storytelling. Liam, not the gargoyle. And that's when things start happening. When he storytells, things start happening, and then he learns that it's dangerous and chaos ensues. That's kind of the brief synopsis of what Stonebird's all about. and I am looking forward to reading it. So, Stonebird. The next book is by Sheila O'Connor, and it's called Until Tomorrow, Mr. Marsworth. This book is set in 1968. Vietnam War is happening, and there's a little girl, can't remember her name, I just read it, here you go, whose mom has just passed away, and so they've had to leave their house in Missouri with her brothers and go live with their grandmother in a small town, and it's summer. She has no friends, but she gets excited because she becomes the new paper boy in town. And she comes to Mr. Marsworth's house, and she's undeterred by the fact that he will not come to the door and that nobody likes him. So she leaves him a note, and they start writing letters back and forth. And let's also point out that she is concerned because one of her brothers is actually fighting in the war in Vietnam. And so they have this conversation going back and forth, and she finds out that, you know, he's kind of the town outcast because he's anti-war. And there's also some other secret that's happening with him. I don't know what it is. I'm going to read the book to find it out. But I just thought it was really interesting because in the book it shows like letters like with different handwriting and typewriter print and all that stuff. So I'm quite interested to see this interaction between this older person and this little girl, and just kind of what's going to be discussed within the book. I know Vietnam was a very hot topic and a war that a lot of people protested and were against, and unfortunately our military were treated very poorly when they came home, when all they were doing was doing what their country told them to do, whether or not they liked it. Beside the point. So I'm interested to see what this book has to say about the war. I'm interested to see the relationship that develops by being pen pals. I had a pen pal in Romania for years, and it's interesting the connection you can make through a person with just letters and no verbal conversation. So I'm interested in reading this one. The next book I've been wanting to read for a while, and I believe this is the first book in a series. I will let you know down here if it is or not. It's The Train to Impossible Places by P.G. Bell, and it's about a little girl, Susie, and a train just pops in through her living room one day out of the blue, and of course she sneaks on in order to make her life make sense, and she becomes the deputy of the postmaster aboard the train. And this train goes to the bottom of the ocean, into outer space, into magical worlds and whatnot, and she's to deliver a package to a queen in a tower, and this package is a snow globe, and it talks saying, "Don't take me there, I'm a prince, and bad things will happen." And so chaos and activity and adventures ensue, and that's kind of all I know about it. I do, like I said, believe it's the beginning of a series. Here's your answer. And I've had this one on my shelf since like summer of 22, and I really wanted to read it. I've ignored it because I didn't want to pick it up before this month. So all of these books that I've just mentioned, I've had on my shelves for a while, and I'm super excited to finally get to them. I do. Anyway, that's what I have on my list for the month of March. I think it's a good list. And because it's middle grade, the font tends to be bigger and there's more space in between the lines. So I should be able to get through a good majority of these books because they are fairly quick reads. Oh, also, I'm going to be reading the next, my brain, can you tell it's a little scattered today? Okay, I'm also going to be reading the next Tommy and Tuppence book, which is By the Pricking of My Thumbs. I know nothing about it, except it's Agatha Christie and it's book 4 in the Tommy and Tuppence series. I will continue to read Assassin's Quest, and I seriously doubt I'm getting to any Sanderson in the month of March. It will happen eventually. April, that's my goal. So that, my friends, my lovely friends, my reading friends, is what I have planned for the month of March for my reading. I'm super excited about this month, probably because these are books that have been sitting on my shelves for at least 6 to 8 months, and I've been dying to read them, and now I finally can. And, you know, if Vanderbeekers on 141st Street is any indication of what March is going to be like for reading for me. I'm all in. I am hyped. I am ready for this. Sometimes you just need some good, sweet, middle grade books to like pep up your reading after reading a lot of fantasy with like battles and people dying and a lot of heavier stuff. Oh, there goes my chair. So middle grade, it just seems fun. Let's have some fun in March. Doesn't that sound like great? I'm sorry for hating my hair. I hope you have a wonderful, amazing, spectacular reading month in March. And just have a great time. Enjoy reading. Continue to let it be the fun hobby that it is. And don't make it something mundane and boring and DNF that book that you're just not enjoying, because you know life is short and reading is one of life's amazing pleasures. So as I get ready to leave, thank you so much for spending time with me today. I know you could be doing other things. I could give you a laundry list of things. Oh, you could be doing laundry. But I'm not going to do my list today. I'm just going to go and say thank you so much for your time. Do all the YouTube things. You know what they are. I'd appreciate it if you did. We're inching very slowly to that 100 mark for subscribers before I can tell you my little secret idea in my brain. Having some more discussions on Discord, so that's exciting. Link will be down below if you'd like to join. We are going to be discussing By the Pricking of My Thumbs. That is one of the chapter things in my Discord, so join if you want to read that book. In the meantime, I'm going to go and read some fabulous middle grade. I hope you go and enjoy your reading, and until next time, go enjoy an amazing book.